It's a day when the Minister of State for Home Affairs finds himself in the headlines as the Congress launches a frontal attack on Kiren Rijiju, accusing him of complicity in what they're claiming is a 450 crore scam in his home state of Arunachal Pradesh. This even as a former Home Minister, P. Chidambaram, is calling demonetization the biggest scam and saying the suffering of people is worse than that in a natural calamity. To talk about the Arunachal controversy, demonetization and much more, we are joined by Minister of State for Home Affairs, Kiren Rijiju. Let's start with the allegation by the Congress. They've played almost a 28-minute audio tape. They say this is a conversation between your cousin and a particular anti-corruption officer who was in fact removed early from his post. He has alleged that this is because A, he was an investigating officer in the Ishrujan encounter when he was a Gujarat officer, and B, it's because he unearthed this scam in which your cousin is involved. How do you respond?
First of all, I would like to ask the Congress people, since they have raised the matter, they should not run away now. Because initially I was not aware that they were even raising such issue, but I just found out that the entire contract works which were executed by one Patel Engineering from Mumbai, that contract work was awarded during Congress time. And the work were going on.
Yeah. And
we have no problem. Anybody can execute the work. The scam what the Congress talk about is not worth even mentioning. See, the local people, they normally come to their MP. So when I went to a village, they asked me that please intervene with the authorities because they are not getting their payment. Payment means few thousand rupees. They were supplying boulders, they were supplying the sands, stones and all. So it was a small amount which they want to get it paid because it was pending.
What small amount? What was the amount? Because Satish Verma, of course,
that's what I'm
the anti-corruption officer, says that this was potentially a loss to the exchequer of 450 crores.
How can the project itself is not that costly? Where from that money will come? See, what Patel Engineering's total contract with the NIPCO that I am not aware of. I am just concerned with our petty local tribal contractors, daily contractors. They have to get their dues. That's all. I have just forwarded their memorandum as it is verbatim to the Power Minister. That's all. Now,
you wrote a letter to the Power Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal, on the 9th of November 2015.
Yes. And let me tell you,
without the Congress's mentioning that you had a relative who was also involved in this entire case.
I just checked it. None of my relative is a contractor there.
Who is Goboy Rijiju?
Everybody is related to me that way. But
what does that mean?
No, there's nobody blood related to me is a contractor in this list.
Do you know this Mr. Goboy Rijiju?
He's not a contractor there. He's not even a contractor there. He's not even in the list of the contractors.
But
that's why I'm saying the Congress will be in big trouble.
Why will the Congress be in trouble?
Because all the contract works were awarded during Congress regime. All the payments were made during Congress regime. If there is a single awarding of contract happened because of my intervention, show me. If I have appointed any new contractor, or for that matter, if any new contractor has been appointed since BJP came to power, none. If there are new payments being made, nothing. So, I mean, how can a national party make such an issue out of non-existent? That is why I'm saying, now since they have raised an issue, they have to go with me, they have to visit the office, they have to check the entire files. If even a single pie has been paid during my time, or a single contract is awarded during we have come to power, then I will resign. Otherwise, the Congress party has to tender apology before the nation. They wasted one full day of the media and the nation. How can they make a statement on the basis of some kind of a forwarding letter?
So on whose behalf did you write that letter to the Power Minister?
To the 10 village panchayat members who have written to me.
Okay, so you say that letter was on behalf of the people,
Yes.
that involved small amounts, the people were not being paid
Yeah.
for their work on this project. But Mr. Satish Verma, the anti-corruption officer who has presented a detailed affidavit before the Central Administrative
not related
Tribunal.
to me.
No. He's claiming...
He has not related that to
Okay,
me.
but the tape that has been played out with the opposition today...
That has nothing to do with the thing.
Let me just
tape what
ask my
they are
question.
referring.
Yeah.
The tape they are referring is about these small petty contractors which village tribal people are not getting. That's all.
They claim.
It's nothing to do with
Let me just complete the question, then you can respond. They claim that the conversation between Mr. Goboi Rijiju and Mr. Satish Verma, in that Mr. Rijiju talks about bhaiyya, which Congress says means you,
Anybody can say
helping or enabling a promotion. And therefore offering a quid pro quo to back off from this anti-corruption investigation.
If you listen carefully to that conversation,
yes,
he is not talking about the transportation of the other equipments, machinery and all. He is saying that these petty local villagers are dependent on these few thousands of pending bills. Please clear that. That's all.
but he's talking about a promotion. He's talking about some bhaiya being able to help
how
with
do
the
I
promotion.
know about what they are saying? Can anybody be promoted on the street? Can anybody? There are rules and regulations in this country. My question is simple. If because of my intervention, if somebody has been benefited unduly, if I have appointed a new contractor, if I have got somebody extra bills being cleared because of my intervention, Piyush Goyal has written back to me clearly saying that the delay was because of there were some incomplete submission of the bills. That's all.
Yeah.
So the matter is clear there. It's not even an issue. I don't know the Congress party, if they don't apologize to the nation, then they don't have right to raise another issue in the future.
Now, you said to the Hindu, and this is an old article when Satish Verma had first complained when asked about this Goboi Rijiju, you yourself said he is a distant cousin. Be it anyone, whether distant cousins or friends, I will not tolerate if my name is used to get their work done, and I will ensure that my people don't face hardship.
Exactly.
This is you on record to the Hindu.
Yes.
So you admit that this person is a distant cousin. Do you believe that,
Everybody
that he has misused your name?
In the tribal communities, in our local communities, we find everybody is somehow related in the name calling. He is not blood related to me.
When you say distant cousin to the Hindu?
Distant means from the village.
Yes.
He belongs to same village,
Yes.
same place. That's all. That's how the relation comes. I don't know. That's why I said, if these people, the Congress people and the people who planted this story, if they come to my place, they will face the wrath of the people, because it is non-issue for the local villagers. If there is corruption amongst the builders or the big carriage contractors in Shillong and somewhere, raise that issue. This is a petty, small-time daily contractors, they are subcontractors. They are daily wage earners type. I was raising their issue. How the big scam, whatever Congress regime time it must have happened, how is it related to me?
So you just said something very interesting. You said that if these people who planting fake stories come to my people, they will face the wrath of the people.
Because the people are not the fraud. They are not nothing to do with the scam. If they want to raise about the scam, then talk about the contractors, big contractors, not my village, tribals.
But in the day, you use much stronger language. You said that they juta padega. You said juta padega.
The villagers will be very upset.
That they will be hit with slippers.
That's what I'm saying.
What did you mean by, why did you use that kind of language?
I am very upset because if I am trying to help the local people, if somebody calls that a scam, won't you be upset? Okay, if you want to talk about scam, then talk about scams which involves in crores, which happens in the transportation of the big equipments and all in the big office. This is a matter related to a village. Those people are supplying sands and gravels and boulders and all. They are daily manual people. I am writing for them, not for the carriage contractors of the equipments and all. If you see the letter clearly.
Yes, your letter is here.
So,
but do you
it's
believe...
not even an issue. I don't know. It's a shameful for the Congress party to try to create a situation. That's why I said don't run away now. You have raised the issue. I would like to call those Congress people who raised this issue to come with me to my place. They have to face the people. If they have tried to malign my local tribal people, they have to face it. The local people are so upset.
Why do you say it's maligning the local people?
They are the daily wage earners. They are not scam stars. Why are you saying that it's a scam? These people, panchayat leaders and village people, they are innocent people. The project is in the tribal area. If tribal people are getting some 10,000, 20,000 benefits because of their manual works, what wrong? What is the problem with the Congress party? If they want to unearth the scam, unearth somewhere else. And as I said earlier, this coming hydro project, awarding of contracts and awarding of all the builders and all, these were happened during Congress time. I have nothing to do with it. So that's why I say they cannot run away now.
But, you know, they are demanding your resignation.
I will give resignation. The Congress has to be disbanded from this country then. If they talk about such cheap language about my resignation of non-existent issue, then Congress has to be disbanded from this country, because they have no moral authority to talk about scams.
This gentleman on the tape, do you believe that he was misusing your name? Because earlier you
Whoever
said...
has misused my name...
Do you believe he has? Do you believe Goboy Rijiju, when he
Definitely,
talks about you as bhaiyya?
I have just sent a message that whoever has misused my name, I don't appreciate that. And if some undue, advantage has been taken, please see to it. But there's nothing.
But is it your apprehension that he has misused your name when you listen to what he has said?
Nobody can misuse my name. If my constituency people talk about me as their MP, they can always take my shelter. But they cannot misuse my name.
Now, this
I will not allow that.
This particular anti-corruption officer is also linking it to his history with the Gujarat
That
government.
is why now I know this officer.
Satish Verma. Yes.
I am told that he has some history.
He was an officer in the Ishrat Jahan encounter.
That is why maybe
in the Ishrat Jahan encounter, he made the argument that it was a fake encounter. In his affidavit, he says that the reason he says he's being targeted, A, because of Ishrat Jahan case, B, because he unearthed
I know about his background.
Yes.
But what I have learned is that he was unhappy for being removed from the post, and also he has sent. How does this officer has sent a copy to the press? Is it not a planting? This officer, if he has to send a letter, a report, he should send it to the investigating agencies. He should send it to the central government. How come he has sent a copy to the press? So you have to understand from that. It's very clear.
So when you say it's a planted story, what do you mean by that? Today you said
Because
this is a planted story, this is fake news.
Yeah,
but
fake
he
news.
gives details of fictitious bills.
That is why many media people came to me. They said that, how come this news was specifically being leaked out to 2 newspaper agencies? Why not to other electronic and
I mean, the Indian
media?
Express got the scoop.
Yeah.
You can't hold the scoop against
Not only Indian Express, there is another, the Hindu also got the news.
Yes.
They called me.
But what does that prove?
That shows that it has been planted. Indian Express will not go to Shillong and get the conversation. No, it must be done by some person. So that is why. See, Barkha, what I am saying
Whether
is,
it's a leak or not doesn't
Barkha,
speak to the truth of the story, right?
Tell
me the facts. Tell me the facts. Do you accept that there were fake bills or fictitious bills, as has been alleged by the anti-corruption officers?
That is what Piyush Goyal ji, Power Minister, has sent a letter to me.
Yes.
Then I am quite thereafter. I asked him why the payments are delayed.
Yes.
Then he said there are some issues with the manner in which bills were submitted.
Right.
He said not fictitious, he said incomplete documents.
Okay. Okay.
Matter ends there.
Okay.
Has I put some pressure thereafter? What I am saying is, you are a senior journalist.
Yes.
You must nail the things to the bottom. If I have benefited or misused my position, I have no moral right to continue as minister. But those people who are raising this bogey, those people who are saying the scam which happened in the Congress time, if the fields are fake, it's Congress time. If the bills are paid, under duress, it was a Congress time. If the contractors were unfairly selected, it was Congress time. It is matter everything 100% related to Congress time. We came to the power only in May 2014. This matter is related to 2012-13. It's nothing to connect with me, not with the government. I was told that even the Congress spokesman was naming that Piyush Goyal, aapko kya mila hai? I mean, how a person can be so irrational in raising the matter in a national media channel, national spokesperson, talking all nonsense? Everything is related to Congress regime.
So you're saying if there was a scam?
If there was scam, Congress time. Because everything is related to Congress time. So that is why I said in the beginning, Barkha, Congress cannot run away. Now,
so what is your specific question?
My specific question is that Congress must tell how these contractors were selected, how 60-70% bills were paid, it was fake. If the manner in which all the deals were done unscrupulously, then Congress must explain, because it was all related to Congress regime's time. Nothing during my time. During our time, we have not done anything new. Only I was told that it has been pending for a long time. So I just wrote to the Power Minister, just see what is the matter. That's
and on Satish Verma, your final word on this officer who
who
alleges political vendetta?
No, the NIPCO people told me that he was not happy being removed.
Yes.
So he has sent all this kind of very lopsided report. That's what I have not seen the report. I have no right to.
So you stand by the fact that this is the allegation is fake, and if there was a scam, you say the Congress is answerable.
If it was a scam, then Congress has no moral authority to talk, because it was during their time.
Okay.
During my time, during our government's time, nothing was done.
Let's move on to another big clash point. Today you've had the former Home Minister P. Chidambaram saying that this is talking about demonetization and saying that is the biggest scam. He said the suffering is even worse than that of a natural calamity. Do you believe that the government, for the government, demonetization has not gone as well as it would have wanted to, because Jan Dhan accounts have seen a surge, 37,000 crores, which suggests the kind of laundering which even the Prime Minister referred to when he said, let the poor keep the money, we'll go after the culprits. It's been a little over a month. What's the big picture of demonetization?
Chidambaram ji is very right. It's definitely a disaster and calamity for the Congress party and the black money holders and the lenders. There are issues which we know, and Prime Minister from the day one, on the evening of 8th November, he has pleaded to the nation to support this cause, because it is going to generate some inconveniences for some time. He specifically said 50 days, thereafter it will normalize. So when Prime Minister has already made an appeal that there will be some inconveniences for good in the future, that we must understand. After that, if it doesn't improve, if the life doesn't improve after 50 days or 2 months, 3 months.
But those 50 days will end on the 30th of this month.
It has not ended yet.
Yes.
He says after 50 days, it will start easing. So why some people are jumping the gun right now and talking irrational things? That is why P. Chidambaram ji is a very senior minister, former minister. I respect him.
Yes.
But his words are true for the Congress party and the black money dealers, not for Aam Admi. Aam Admi, every common man is facing some inconveniences, but they are supporting the move, and there are patience amongst the people that is highly appreciable. That shows the level of trust people have on the Prime Minister.
One of the big claims that has been made by the government is that this is in fact one of the aims of this monetization exercise was to choke the terror funding. Almost a month later, what is the evidence, what is the data, what is the concrete empirical sort of facts that you can put out there to say that this is in fact happened? Because we have continued to see, for example, terror attacks from across the border. That is, of course, continuing. In hard facts, what is the evidence that demonetization has choked terror funding?
See, first of all, since November 8th evening,
yes,
there is no single report of even an attempt being made
yes,
to inject fake currency notes, because it is rendered useless now.
yes.
See, terror funding in this country is estimated to the tune of 800 crore at any given point of time.
Yeah.
That has been hit hard. In the northeastern region, the militants who used to extort cash money and store it outside the country, we got the report. They are trying to bring it inside the Indian territory now, but they can't do now. It's all just a piece of paper. Because the steps which we have taken and the vigilance which we have kept all along the border has rendered them helpless. In the left-wing extremism area also,
the Naxal areas.
The Naxal area, it's been a very, very crucial step for us, because the local system in which they used to conduct themselves to carry their designs has been completely broken, and they are almost helpless to maintain their cadre. So in every sense, the cessation of the legal tender for 501,000 notes have done maximum damage to the terrorist groups, all the terror groups in India and even outside the border area who are intending to come inside. Besides the
But couldn't
black
they
money
get,
holders.
as we've been seeing from these huge income tax raids, right? Even in Delhi, you've had a law firm where you've recovered 14 crores, including 2.5 crores in new notes. So why wouldn't terror groups, if law firms can get 2.5 crores in new notes, why wouldn't terror groups be able to get the same kind of cash in new notes, where the new note then becomes the counterfeit currency or the currency that drives terrorism?
That I can't speculate about the future thing, but we are careful about how things should be, and I can say that there are some bad elements even in the banking system, and part of the system. There are leakages from some corners. It's unfortunate, but that is also being watched, and actions are being taken, and the very fact that we are able to come out with so much of large numbers of raids conducted in various places,
Yes.
and unearthing huge cash.
But how do you know terror groups also don't have that kind of
That
cash?
shows that we are acting. That shows that
What is
action
the data on terror? Are you actually saying that demonetization has brought down terrorism? Are you making that kind of claim?
Definitely, that is
And
one
how
of
do
the
you, how do you prove that?
Besides the black money, what we are talking about, for 35 to 40% of the total GDP, one of the main target is the terror funding. It will cripple the terror funding process, which has been going on unabated for such a long time. So it has stopped now. I don't want to claim about the achievement with regards to security, but internally, India is much more secure. Have you seen some big incidents in Delhi in last 2.5 years? No. The way in which we have conducted, creating a robust security system, choking their funding system, blocking all illegal proceeds for the crimes and all, everything, that has shown the result.
Well, not Delhi, but Jammu and Kashmir.
What
We
I'm
did have the
saying,
Nagrota attacks.
anything-
We have had
see, in a border area,
repeated attacks on
you're
our
right.
army installations.
You're right. That's why these are the border area incidents, which are unfortunate. But what I'm saying is, these are desperate attempts made by the people who are very frustrated because of the government's active action. But what I'm saying is, for the long term, we had to take this action. The Prime Minister's action has really paid great dividend, and you will see in the days to come, India will be a stronger nation, and India will be a much safer nation.
One last question on demonetization. Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi has made a very, very contentious and controversial charge, saying that in Muslim minority areas, cash has not been disbursed to ATMs.
A very unfortunate allegation made by Owaisi ji. We are colleagues in the parliament. The ATMs do not differentiate people on religious lines. The banks do not identify amongst the people on religious lines. There are branches, bank branches in the Muslim dominated areas. There are branches elsewhere also. The scarcity of the currency, new currency notes, is everywhere. It's not only the minority or Muslim dominated areas, it's everywhere. But the fact is, as Finance Minister has already clearly pointed out, that the level of cash flow will not and never be the same again. That is why we are talking about the cashless, online payment, all these kind of online transactions and all. So that is why we are getting in a different mode for the future. So we have to bear it. If we face this difficulty period for some time, it's always going to have a better time in the future. So if you're trying to give it a communal color of this great initiative initiated by the Prime Minister, is unfortunate. And I would like to request OICG not to make any kind of comment which has a communal tone in it. We should not do that. It's not good for the country.
Now, the BJP has always taken a very strong position on nationalism, and you have used that to, in a sense, distinguish yourself from parties like the Congress. But a very, very controversial decision has been taken by the Jammu and Kashmir government today, in which the BJP is part of the government. The BJP has a deputy chief minister, and that is the compensation that has been given to Burhan Wani's family. It has been given for something totally unrelated. His brother having died in crossfire with security forces at an earlier point, being treated therefore as an innocent man who was compensated. But the charge will come. This is a terrorist family. This is a family where even if you venture to say, as journalists have, that Burhan Wani was the son of a headmaster, BJP supporters will say you are romanticizing, you are being soft on terrorists. Compensation to Burhan Wani's brother, how does the Home Ministry see this?
First of all, it's a very sensitive matter, and we all want normalcy to return in Jammu and Kashmir, especially in the Kashmir Valley. I should not make any statement which will unnecessarily prop up the
But do you agree with the decision? Does the Home Ministry agree with the decision?
No, it's not a question of agreement or disagreement. The state governments have their own policy, but what I want to state very clearly is a brother of a terrorist cannot be termed as a terrorist.
Yes.
There may be differences within the brothers in terms of their ideological outlook. Burhan Wani was a terrorist member, a commander of a group. He was killed. His family members, his any of the relatives cannot be termed in the same line as what Burhan Wani was.
But in fact, one of the reasons they say he picked up the gun was because he was angry after his brother died. So that is also something they will say in Kashmir. But are you saying that the brother cannot be conflated with Burhan Wani, that the brother has to, a terrorist brother cannot be treated as a terrorist, a terrorist family cannot be treated as terrorists?
If they are not found to be supporting
if there is no other evidence
in the terror acts. Otherwise, law says so. What you are saying is what the position
So do you
of the
agree
law.
with the J&K government policy, in which the BJP is also part of the government, of course?
If this decision was taken by the Jammu and Kashmir, taking into account all the legal aspects, all the evidences on the ground to ensure that the family members are not in any way related to Burhan Wani's terror activities,
yes,
then it's fine.
Okay. One last question, Mr. Rijiju, also related to nationalism and patriotism. You know the Supreme Court verdict which makes it mandatory to stand for the anthem in movie theatres. Now, we're actually seeing, we've seen young people beaten in Tamil Nadu, 8 people beaten, 12 people arrested. As a young leader, do you agree with this sort of policed patriotism?
I feel that national anthem must come voluntarily and must come naturally as part of your national duty.
Agreed.
There are national anthems, they stretch it while singing beyond 52 seconds. Some people sing it faster, which completes before 52 seconds. This also needs to be seen that every institution must ensure that national anthem is sung in a particular tune and within a particular frame of time.
But should people be beaten and arrested?
But that's what I'm saying, it should be more voluntary. No, but since the Honorable Court has given a pronouncement based on which the law enforcement agencies are acting, what can I comment on that?
You can say you disagree with the court or agree with the court.
I normally do not disagree with the court, even if I feel so, because I'm a very law-abiding citizen, and I don't want to be seen to be really a rebellious character who is, very
taking on
the judges and the judicial pronouncement. I would not like to do that, even if I have some disagreement.
All right, Mr. Kiren Rijiju, we'll leave it there. Pleasure talking to you on the bus.
Nice meeting.
Thank you, sir.